Hey you, yes you. Are you having relationship problems? Does everything taste bland? Well, have I got the solution for you? Yes, the answer is yes I do. Drop the beat. Pedragasm. Oh yeah.
Pedragasm is a life-changing new product that can change your life. If you want your life-changing life change, then call 0800 Mandalore for life.
Check out the rundown, presented by Iron Logan and Figure Posing Channel, and get the full Pedragasm experience.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious, dude.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another episode of The Rundown, featuring Winter Has Come and Iron Lorian. Next week will be Iron Mando, I think. Might be the way to go. Thank you all for being here. This episode is sponsored by First Lukagi in the house. Make sure you check out his content on Insta, because if I can find the damn banner, I'll put it up. He sponsored that video this week, Pedro. Shout out to you, Lukagi. You are the man. Anthony,
Yeah, Lukagi,
what's up, brother?
Yeah, Lukagi should trademark that because that's hilarious, dude.
Oh, bro.
Especially the Mario part.
I don't know if Lukagi will be here today, but shout out to you, big dog.
Dude, he should be here. Because that Mario part, even I think the second time seeing it is even better because it's on the cusp of being cringe and cool, funny.
That's why it's so cool. That's why it's so funny. Oh, guys, what's up?
Oh man,
What's up, everybody that's here? Often's in the house. Our master photographer, master still shot grabber, the number one man in the house. Thank you for being
Oracle
here. Often.
Studios, welcome back.
Oracle Studios, welcome back. AJ Agrusa in the house. Channel member, absolute legend, the dude.
Yeah.
He's in the house. Oh, I hope that made you laugh, big dog. Butcher's in the house. Butch, love that. Love it. Butch, another channel member in the house, here live,
Welcome
ready to
back,
go.
Butch. Maybe he's working, maybe he's not. We'll see.
Maybe we don't know today.
We don't know
but
today.
if you are, just protect yourself. Mike's in the house, another channel member. Mike, what's going on? Hey guys, I thought I was going to pay a tribute to Rocket. You know what?
Mike doesn't forget.
You're on
Mike does
thin ice.
not forget.
You're on thin ice.
I still need to
You're
post it.
on
I'll post it
thin ice.
tomorrow.
I'm about to pose up Iron Patriot again too, so I'm sure I'm going to get bombarded then with rockets. Rockets just flying at me. Oh, look, I have to say, I'm super excited to talk about these two episodes. I know I was hyped up. I know there's a few people that have some different opinions also. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Often
Looking at
has
you,
to say
Often.
about.
Looking at you often.
Looking at you. Interested to see what viewpoint you have for this last episode of Last of Us. So we're going to be covering The Last of Us, episode 8. Can you believe it? Second last episode.
Yeah.
And episode 2 of The Mandalorian, chapter 18. The Mines of Mandalore. It's got a cool name. I loved it. Can't wait to talk about it.
In a
But
world.
Anthony,
On a world.
how much did you enjoy this last episode of Last of Us? Going not for someone who's played the game.
Yeah, so I really enjoy all of the episodes of Last of Us. And unlike some of us studios, I really like what they did to the series. Because they focused more on... mocap is fine for movement, but really focusing on the emotions of characters is a bit harder. You can do it with great voice acting, you can do it with a great story, but really focusing on the emotion on the faces is a bit of a problem. And they utilize that really well in the series. So I think it's cool what they did, and you miss part of the action that you had in the game, because in the game, I think, looking back on the game, I think the part with Bill and this part were like the most gruesome parts of the game. Most difficult, died the most, had the most tension, and you miss that in the series, of course. But I really don't miss it. think what they did here is awesome. So I really liked it.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm looking forward to getting into it. Now, I wanted just to let everybody know we've only got 10 slides for each show because we can only have a max of 20 on here. So I would have loved often all the pictures you sent. There were so many good ones, but I had to whittle it down to 10. So we've got 10 for each, and we'll just try to catch up and remember talking points through segments of the show that maybe aren't in the picture, but maybe in between the moment of each picture, if that makes sense. Often's charmer back. He says, "Don't get me wrong, it's a great episode, but it could have been even better."
He just wants a lot of. I want to say zombies, but it's not zombies, of course. He just wants a lot of infected.
Oh shit! You get this. It's like watching Infinity War and then someone cuts out the Titan battle or Wakanda battle. How dare they?
Yeah, so they touch upon it in the podcast, in the HBO podcast. And they're saying like the ramifications of the plot of all those infected that you get in the game. It would have been too big of a mark on the whole episode, and they just didn't want to do that in the series. And I kind of agree, dude. I like it.
I found that interesting. I did find that interesting. This show just continues to amaze me every week. As someone who hasn't played the game, because I tell you, my first impressions, someone who hasn't played the game, after watching that episode, I just kept thinking like, the intensity, the story, like Joe had so much intensity in his scenes. Mando had so much intensity, and it really is confusing now because it's Pedrogasm. But he had such great scenes. I loved when they talked about the end instead of having him where he saved her, and that's why I have that last slide that I showed you before that I want to use, because I love in the podcast where they talk about having Joel #spoilers save her at the end, just wouldn't have worked as well as what I thought he saved her emotionally at the end of this episode, and that I really loved. It was more not a physical, more of an emotional, and it gave her that crazy moment, like, which we'll get to. But goddamn, I didn't know what to expect. I started realizing that dude, like, the meat, or anyway, let's just get into it.
Let's just get started on slide number 1.
Okay, cool. Look, it's Pedrogasm. I'm all hyped up. Okay. So I threw in slide 1. This is just after the speech by David at the start. I'll let you kick this off, Anthony, because you know these characters more throughout from the game. But like,
I'm going
when
to
you were
touch
watching this, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I'm touching on a couple of things. First of all, so the right one is David. The left one is Troy Baker, who played Joel in the game. And it's funny when you listen to the podcast, he just has his regular voice. And I don't recognize Joel when he speaks with regular voice in the podcast. But in the game, in the series, he has his game voice. So every time that I see James talk, it really sounds like Joel, which is so funny. But so you have David here, who's presented like this because this is after the town meeting, right? The steakhouse meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the steakhouse meeting, they established David like the one and only leader of this gang, of this religious cult. Yeah, and he has so much control over everyone there. He can even slap a kid and tell the mom, "It's fine. I'll handle this," which is hilarious. And this is the example of how you establish leadership for the viewer, as opposed to the Kathleen, where they just show two people, her and her second in command, because they also show David and his second in command, James, here. But first you see him having control over everyone, and how they react to him. Second of all, James, he doubts David, but he also seems weak. He's like he's just the largest puppet who David has to control the rest of his puppets, whereas Perry was he looked like a capable second in command. So I think they establish the relationship between these two very well, but also between David and his flock.
He had that when he was like talking at the start, I already had, because again, look, I knew nothing about what this segment of, so someone just viewing it as a show, as an episode,
Yeah.
I'm watching it going, oh, this guy looks like a bit of a, just by the way he's acting, he seems like he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
And it ends up like throughout the episode, I just kept going, wow. And then I started thinking when he's sitting down with her at the fire and that, and I'm thinking, oh, he doesn't seem as bad. But you know that's what those types of people.
Yeah, so
can be like that,
anyone
so-
who thinks that there's a patriarchy at the moment, this is like a true patriarchy.
Yeah.
He comforts his flocks, he disciplines his flock, and he provides for his flock.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just looking. I'm thinking about what often said about this whole sequence. But as someone who hadn't played the game and didn't have the expectations of these particular things to happen, this was such a thrilling episode for me, and just what a journey for Ellie. This is like her becoming. I think someone said it, becoming like the main character this episode. She was, showing that she can be a lead of this show. And just
So that was like a big twist in the game, because you get to play the game solely as Joel up until this point. And when 2 episodes are typed, winter is coming. This is winter. And winter made such an impact on me when I played the game, because Joel is out. He got hurt. And Ellie is supposed... it's the creator himself. First Lokage. That was hilarious. So thanks, Lokage. You should trademark that. Petrocasm.
Yeah, you should definitely trademark that.
so much appreciated. But so then you get to play with Ellie, and you're really helpless again, because you get to play with Joel and you acquire a lot of gadgets and guns, fun weapons, and you get to feel competent. So that's like the difference when you're playing a game. First, you just trying everything out, and after a while you just feel so comfortable in the controls, and you actually feel as competent as Joel, literally.
That's cool.
And then all of a sudden you become Ellie, and Ellie just has, I think she has a switchblade and maybe an empty gun, I don't know, but you don't have anything again. You just lose all your stuff, so you're out on your wits. And first you get to know Ellie. Not get to know Ellie, but you get to play her hunting the deer, which is quite a chore, and they really translated very well in the series, to be honest. I even lost a deer a couple of times, so I really had to search for it. And I don't know if I just missed it or if it's supposed to be that way, but I shot it a couple of times. I just had to track it all the way until I came to this village over here. You get to play Ellie. And it feels really weird and awkward, and you can't do the stuff you're used to doing with Joel.
That's very cool how they did
so
that.
you feel vulnerable again, and then you meet these guys.
That's so cool. It's such a... This freaking story, man. Holy moly. It was meant to be a show. We'll just catch up on some of these chats. Where are we? Lukagi said he came in, or we needed bow and arrow. Yep.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about that. That was nuts. I think not sure what he's talking about there. What's a page? Hashtag what's a page orgasm? Well,
often.
Let me explain. Often says another nitpick. Joel couldn't even open his eyes. That he goes ninja.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't rush all that. Yeah, I'd noticed that too.
I agree on that one.
I definitely agree. He got better way too quick.
Yeah.
Way too quick. Funny right this time.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next scene. So we've introduced, I thought it was a great introduction to them. I put this clip in when I was going through them because I wanted to just remember the whole premise of the episode. I guess for you guys, this is like that moment of switching from Joel to Ellie, knowing what's going to happen with her going out. For me, I just looked at this and really thought how much of a carer they're showing her becoming. Like she's really stepped up and saved someone's life, like saved his life. I really like that. And the fact that she thinks about going out to get food is just a real thing. Like what else are you going to do? Like you need to eat. Like I love how they just kept that in there. which
Yeah,
then
and
leads her to.
I kind of
Actually,
forgot
sorry,
on the first slide.
cut you off.
They also establish that there is doubt within James, and that
Yes,
David
sorry, yes.
sees it. Um, he sees it instantly, so he's really good at reading people. So you can already tell that he's the smartest one of the bunch, or even the smartest one of the people they've met so far.
Yeah, very interesting. But then she does. So we have the whole deer scene, all that stuff, and then she meets
Yeah.
him. I threw this one in here. I didn't get why you made this, but Anthony figured it out in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, so
Often.
it was like, what did the frustrated cannibal do? He threw up his hands, because he eats hands, you know. And here you see the cannibal also throwing up his hands. So that was a good pun. It was a
Bro,
good pun.
it's great catch too. Bloody hell! But this whole sequence of her like coming across them, he did such a good job. I feel like of being like, I don't know. He was so confident. He was
Still
really
in control.
creepy to me. Yeah, like no fear. Like I just found the way this guy acted. I really enjoyed his acting.
Yeah, yeah.
About how creepy he came across as.
Oh, we
Often
missed
says,
something.
I missed his points. Oh God, let's go up. Where are we? Is it this one? Oh, the Ellie and David battle in the game wasn't just a battle; it was also building trust between David and Ellie.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool in the game, because in the game, it's further down the road. It's over here when James is going to get the medicine. You're left with the two, and then you have like the biggest battle you'll have with bloaters and a lot of infected out of a shed. And you really fight them off together. So that's like Ellie needing to trust David and vice versa. And he's egging Ellie on, and he's complimenting her. So that was pretty cool. And but I think in the series, they also give you a way to trust him by him saying to James, "This is not a code," which was hilarious as hell. Give her the penicillin. This is not a code. And with James getting the drop on Ellie and David just saying, "Nah, just put your gun down. It's fine." That was enough for me. I didn't need. Maybe it's even better if I ask you, because you haven't played the game. Did you miss the part where Ellie kind of is able to trust David?
No, what I felt watching this show is this guy's trying to manipulate her and win her over.
Yeah.
I definitely got that feeling. Like I got the feeling of like he sees something in her that he wants. That's the impression I got. And listening to the podcast really hit that home for me as well. I was like, yeah, that is how I felt watching it.
Yeah,
so
I think,
that's all I knew. That's all I knew.
I think. Yeah, but I mean, often saying Ellie is allowed to trust him because they fight off all those infected. With each other. Did you miss that in the series? Did you miss?
I didn't know. It wasn't even a thing for me. My interpretation of the whole story arc of that was this creepy guy. She showed facial expressions sometimes, I thought, or like moments when he's talking that she looks like she's kind of wanting to believe what he's thinking, but nothing that sent me over. So I feel like they conveyed that a little bit, like that she at least thought about it. Because then when she goes and breaks his finger, I'm starting to think, nah, she can't, like, she's not going to be this, compliant to this guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got it as someone who didn't know.
Yeah.
Often says David gives Ellie his rifle when the infected come, and it's revealed he had a gun the whole time.
Yeah.
Basically had each other's backs to survive. Yeah. And that makes sense in a game. Like, that's a great way to do it in a game, is have you team up with someone, I think. Also made David one-dimensional with his pedo shit. But see, I didn't think he was one-dimensional. I came away from the episode thinking he was such a great villain. I'm like, wow, that guy was like...
He wasn't one-dimensional. For me, at least.
Yeah, he didn't feel one-dimensional for me.
To be honest, when I was thinking about that we were going to do a rundown, because I think I see Mando every Monday evenings or nights, and I think Thursday, Tuesday after listening to the podcast, I was thinking he's like stacked. Do you know when you get games and the kit of a character is stacked because it just has too many abilities and passives and whatever in one kit? David's kit is stacked because he's a cannibal. He's like a sociopath. He's like he wants to be like the savior of people. He's a pastor. He's a cannibal.
He's a
sort
fake
of,
pastor.
Sorry.
He's a fake pastor. He was a teacher. Like he was using
Yeah,
religion,
yeah.
basically.
And he's like a
Yeah.
pedophile, and he wants to rule the world. He's so many things at once.
That's the
It
impression.
could have
I
been
got
less,
from it.
and it could have worked.
Yeah, once like literally using religion to manipulate the people, and lying to them. Oh man, it was what a. I came away from that. Like, he was like a real serial killer-esque.
Yeah. So, and
figure.
the cool thing about the podcast that we always talk about, because it's really, if you don't listen to the podcast, either do because it's awesome, or just listen to us rave about the podcast. It's Neil Druckmann and Greg Mason and Troy Baker, who played Joel in the game, talking about each episode. And when they were talking about David, they were saying that David has everyone in his flock under control, even James. He has broken every one of them. And he sees Ellie. He sees this kid who is not a sheep, unlike the rest of his flock. He sees Ellie as a wolf, just like himself. So he kind of sees himself, but he also wants to own her. And like his queen, and be a king and queen together and rule over the world, I guess.
And I got that impression watching it. I was like, I got that feeling that he wanted to like possess her,
Yeah.
own her. I feel like that really did come across.
Yeah. And he sees right through her. He's the only character in the whole series and in the game who sees right through Ellie.
He sees some of him.
Oh,
in
maybe
her.
Maria, but him more.
What do you guys think in the chat? AJ says, yeah, I felt he hit all the creepier checkboxes.
Yeah, every creep possible he hit.
Very creepy, very creepy. Penicillinous fungus.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
made
that
from
was
fungus.
cool. When he's telling her the story about like someone from our group got killed by a
Alec,
savage
yeah.
man or a madman.
Madman.
And we find, yeah. Well, if you look at the Patrigasm picture, he's kind of a madman.
Kind of is.
He kind of is. What was I going to say? When he's telling her that story and he goes, yeah, I believe everything happens for a reason. Like, that was so creepy, like,
Yeah.
and just so maniacal how he's saying it. Like, he's like, I got you. He already thinks he's got her. Like, he's you know, he's thinking he's lucky stars that all this happened.
And I also think that he actually believes that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I think he does. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed just the mental side of how psychotic his character is.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, they have that conversation after the fight, while Ellie take guard down.
Often is still saying we needed to fight.
Yeah,
So basically, we still needed to fight.
we need the fight. This is fantastic right here. It's interesting though, seeing a different perspective. Here we go in the game.
Tell me you missed the fight without telling me you missed the fight.
In the game, Anthony. In the fucking game.
He won't let it go.
I get
Relentless
that.
Studios.
Right. I get that. But I really loved this. This is the thing about this show for me. I just love moments like this, because when the action does happen, it's so much for me. It just feels so much more visceral when it happens, because there's all this story that leads into it. That's what I loved about Andor. All the build up to the action. It took 3 episodes, like each time, to get to a big action sequence. It felt like, but it was so worth it. And I just love that they're doing that in this. All this real great just writing and talking and story. It just makes me buy in more. I love it. He's got justice for the fight. # justice for the fight. Often says, if y'all are okay to settle for mediocrity, that's on you. Damn, Savage Studios.
No,
Hang on.
Gaslighting Studios.
Oh my god.
That's also Lokage, right?
That's also Lukagi.
It's the brilliance of Lokage.
Brought to you by Vestal Kage. Where are we next? Let's get to the next slide. So, okay, I inserted this picture. It's probably thinking about now. I got to use a different picture, but between this one and the next clip, there was nothing I really thought I was going to do to explain. Like,
Yeah, this is like
the
so
medicine
hilarious.
part.
Just shooting penicillin right into the
Well,
right into the wound.
well, look,
like
maybe
it doesn't
that's why he
matter.
got so jacked up. Maybe that's why he got a freaking energy boost, guys. This could be why. And also, it's because he's Mando. Okay,
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
you can't hold him back.
Yeah.
Anyway, she gets the medicine, gives it to him, and that's when he gets all gangster and goes from there. But then these guys come to the
Maybe
town.
it's the super serum, super soldier serum. I think that would help.
That would have helped.
Or like a mashed up senzu bean. I think it's a senzu.
Yeah. I loved this sequence with him shooting her off the horse, man. That was so cool. How they did
Yeah.
that.
So, I did not remember it until you just showed me this picture. But in the game, it was also like a large sequence with Ellie. You're Ellie on the horse, and you're trying to evade all the people from David's gang. There were a lot there. Not four.
Yeah.
It's like a big group over there because everywhere you went with the horse, those people were trying to get you.
That's right. That is correct. I liked when this sequence started to happen because I started panicking. I'm like, man, what the hell is Joel going to do? I'm thinking Joel's done.
Yeah.
But then I realized he got the shot. He's all good.
He got the
but
shot.
goddamn.
Senzu bean, the liquid senzu bean.
Yeah, he got the
right.
shot all right.
Yeah.
Which led to that whole, like, I love how he got the first guy in the neck. And like a ninja, like stealth. Were you guys happy there was like a throwback to stealth? Because he literally was doing stealth kills. in
Yeah,
this
so this is like
sequence.
the exact same kills you do on regular people and on non-clicker infected. So that was cool.
Yeah, here we go. This is what it was.
Mines of Mandalore.
From the waters in the mines of Mandalore. Look at, and this is where we get Pedrogasm. And I thought this is a perfect shot for Pedrogasm.
It's mythosaur saliva.
This scene as well, I don't know about you guys, but I thought this was so intense. Like, he was so brutal. There's no, like, I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy in this. This is just, like,
Yeah, but-
pure, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get Ellie back.
Yeah, but before this, when James shoots the horse, and they find
Yes.
Ellie, they actually wanted to kill Ellie, and I, in the series, I got the
That's
feeling
right,
that
that's right.
James sensed that David would place Ellie above him. To me, it felt like, and I don't think it had to do anything with me playing the game, but it felt like James was afraid that he was going to be pushed aside for Ellie.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's
I
like
feel
the
that.
second in command, which he's not. He's just a puppet to David.
And do you think he sees how infatuated David is with her, and that's where that's where he feels threatened
Yeah.
because of that? Yeah, I get that. What do you guys think about that? I did you notice that watching the show? Let us know in the chat. But I could definitely sense that. And then we have a bit of talk in the jail cell, so we don't have the clips for that, but they talk in the jail cell. She breaks his finger. That whole sequence is before the next slide.
Yeah.
I really
And
enjoyed
if you
that.
go to the
conversation.
Pedrogasm slide, like in the podcast, they talk about if it would have been only Joel, he would have probably already given up because he's fighting for Ellie. He's becoming Hulk.
Yeah. I feel like, and that's where the theme of their love theme comes in. Like this to me, right? This reminded me, and now being a dad, like now that I'm older and I feel different. Like when I think about if someone had Mila, or something like that, like what I would do, I would freaking do anything. And I really feel like
Yeah, but John,
Pedro gave
John,
that. Yes. Yes,
you
sir.
would have been able to go to any movie after that.
Creed 3 is out, and I haven't had a chance to see it. And Shazam's coming out.
With
No.
that, the ISB agent.
Oh, man. No, I'm more Joel. I'm Joel in this scenario. I feel like he conveyed that emotion of like that fear of not of what could possibly be happening right now
Yeah.
because I'm not there. I felt like it came across in his savageness. I just felt it. Like I love probably one of my favorite scenes from the whole show was
Yeah.
this whole scene because I felt like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel like I would feel if I was stressing about getting to Mila. Yeah, that was powerful for me. Bloody powerful. What's often saying? Don't worry, I believe him. Oh, back to him not him. I know what you're talking about. Often, I forgot the guy's name. Back to original Joel.
Tribeca.
We get to so then Joel starts coming to the town, so we know he's on the mission, and this is probably where you guys would have been thinking he's coming to. I've just noticed Mike's comment.
Can you move the microphone a bit? Oh, yeah.
Testing.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm bumping the table and that might throw it off. Sorry, guys. Thanks for letting us know, Mike. But were you guys expecting Joel to save her at the end, like the game? And I guess we can get to that in the next slide, I guess.
Yeah, Joel doesn't really save her in the game.
No?
No.
Yeah, the Kagi.
She still cuts up David, but maybe a bit less brutal.
Yeah, Joel's main motivation for getting up is to protect Ellie. Yeah, for real. But this sequence here, oh man, this was so exciting. Like when he came back after that talk and she defied him, I kind of do want to talk about the talk in the jail cell where she breaks his finger. Because at that point, I was seeing facial expressions of she looks like she's maybe buying in, but I knew that she wouldn't because from what we've learned from her, I feel like she's a savage and I feel like she would try to manipulate him back. And so I felt that watching that scene. But she's such a freaking badass. She waits to the end to tell the name. I think, did they talk about that on the podcast? About her waiting to give the name?
Because she notices, because they both got a number. She's kind of surprised that David has her number, but she also knows that he holds power over him but by not confiding him. Because David wants to be like the savior and father. And like to do that or to believe that, one of the proofs that you're like the father is if people trust you. And by not telling Ellie's name is like proof, I'm not trusting you yet. So she's holding out on him, which really annoys him because he wants to be a savior and manipulate her into being his queen, which she's not having. And then all of a sudden she thinks, oh, that's what you're doing. That's what you want to do. And then she knows.
Yeah. Oh, when she sees the ear, we didn't like the ear in the food. Like that was so. We skipped over all that. Sorry, guys. I forgot about the meat when the guy brings the meat as well. So I'm having flashbacks.
It's venison. I didn't even know the word venison before the series. So.
Didn't you? Oh no.
No.
Oh man, you got it. If you like meat, I've had venison before. It's delicious. One of the best.
Yeah, but before this episode, I thought they were going to cop out. I thought they weren't going to show a lot of things because they would have been too creepy for a series. I thought David wouldn't have given off pedophile vibes. I thought they wouldn't have shown cannibalism. But they did. The only thing I think they didn't show is like a big pile of human parts when Ellie was in the cell. But other than that, they've shown almost everything in the game.
They had the hanging bodies.
Yeah.
The hanging man. Look, like those. I wanted to talk about the cannibalism part. Like when he brings the meat in, it was starting to click to me. But I feel like, remember when they're all eating? They talk about when everyone's eating, you feel like they can kind of like they just all seem so uneasy. All the people in the scenes when they're in the food hall or whatever, they all just
Yeah,
look.
but they don't know that there's a possibility that it's human flesh, that the kid is eating her dad.
Yeah,
I
and like he's will
think,
bury him in the summer. Like
yeah,
Jesus
so
Christ,
maybe the cook knows, and James certainly knows.
man! They did that so well. It just added so much. Like this episode was horrific, really, when you think about everything that was going on. And
Yeah,
what an adventure for Ellie, though. Like this whole episode could have been like a horror film, like of some
yeah,
girl's adventure. You know, stumbling upon
adventure.
these group of people. Yeah, adventure to save it. Like literally, they compressed a whole film into this episode,
Yeah.
a survival film. Man, do you guys in the chat have anything you want to add about all the like what we just talked about leading up to this point? Because the next slide is basically the end part of the show. But when she says she's bit, like the quick thinking that she uses
Yeah,
there, I thought that was so great. Because when we're watching it, I'm like, how is she going to get out of this? And then she
yeah.
says, "I'm bit."
You
I'm
should be
just like,
dead.
oh, yeah, like that was so clever. Now, what do you think? Do you think he believed her? Because she's like, and now so are you. Like, oh, she was so badass.
Yeah, I think when someone says that and you see the wound, you kind of believe it. I think, I don't know
Yeah, sorry.
anymore. One of them believes it, the other doesn't. I think James doesn't believe it, and David kind of does for a little while. I don't remember. It could be vice versa.
Yeah, man. Such a cool scene. Such a cool scene. And then when she takes out Joel, that was pretty original
She
Joel.
takes out
OG
Joel.
She takes out Joel. Ellie literally did take out Joel.
Yeah, he did.
There you go.
Game Joel.
Multiverse.
Yeah,
Multiverse.
multiple Joel.
That was pretty hectic too. Man, they did a lot
Yeah.
in this episode. This sequence, the acting she did, and the fact that they made it go on as long as they did. I love artistic choices like that when they do stuff like that in movies
Yeah,
and
so
film.
having played the game, the snowstorm, you didn't see the snowstorm here, but the snowstorm was a bit grueling in the game. But also the
Well, you see
steakhouse.
Joel walking through it. You see Joel
Yeah,
walking
but
through
it's
it.
not like in the game, because there you're just wandering off. It's like being in a sandstorm. It was
Okay.
just like a little cut. But the steakhouse also. There's like a big thing in the game where you need to hide from David, because David knows the steakhouse like the back of his hand, and you're just there stumbling about in a burning steakhouse. So that's like a cool part, and they literally translated that, so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. The whole end sequence for me, like watching it again, not knowing how it ended in the game, like the brutality that she exhibited on him was just next level, and the way they captured it was, I think, perfect. Where they had the camera.
Yeah, so the hack and slash was a bit more brutal than I remember playing the game, because I think that was like a knife and she stabbed him
Yeah,
a couple
but
of times.
you
I
know
think.
what? For me, I'm watching that going, this is the part of her that's just like him. That's just like David. This is that
Yeah,
part of her that he saw in her. And that's what I was vibing off that,
yeah.
which I think is so
Yeah,
clever.
kind of like David, but also kind of like Joel.
Yeah. Yeah. Lokagi says, this scene was literally fire in some ways.
The scene was fire. Literally somewhere.
Oh, sorry, I missed
Yeah, it
often.
was.
I missed often here again. Often says Joel pulls her off.
Yeah, so
him
this
when
is,
he's dead in the game.
they talk about this in the podcast. So Joel doesn't save her, but he comes in the steakhouse after Ellie kills David. And in the podcast they're saying it doesn't make any sense because the keys were inside David's pocket, so how could Joel have come inside, blah blah blah. And I like the change they did.
Yeah, and that's the last clip I'll bring up, and I want to share my
Yeah.
thoughts on that. Often says in the game when Ellie wakes up, James was chopping up bodies on that chopping board. Oh Jesus,
He means Joel.
chopping board, Joel, yeah, OG Joel. They compress
And it's
the
selfie.
episode is right. Hashtag the
Yeah,
last.
so
The Russian.
he won't
The
let go.
Russian. He's not gonna let go. You are the villain.
I think we could do season 2, and he's still going to be talking about that they rushed this and they cheaped out of all of the fights.
How bloody Andre.
Oh,
Here to pay
thanks,
to
Andre.
help pay off and to do all the screenshots. Andre, you bastard! You bastard!
Thanks, Andre.
That's definitely. Good. No, I love it. I love it. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. You are the man. And thanks for being back. Good to have you back, brother. And yes, we need to pay off and for the screenshots. I think we'll do a tribute to him one day. I'll do a tribute.
Oh, your sound again.
Really?
Oh, it's good now. It's fine.
I'm gonna flip.
Flip it.
I'm gonna flip the table. Andre paid comment guy. I love that. But yes, thank you, sir, for donating to the channel. You are the man, and we are glad to have you back. Now let's get to this last bit. Then, reason why I put this in is this, and I loved when they talked about it because it confirmed how I felt when I was watching it. I really like the opinion of this was him saving her emotionally rather than pulling her off the body. Like, I love that. I just love that part.
Yeah.
And I really felt it. And he calls a baby girl. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Often.
I felt that.
I felt that. And I just was so blown away by her acting in this whole episode. But that, from when she goes savage on David to how she walks out of the steakhouse, like in the snow, like it just, everything about that whole scene, how she looked, the facial expressions, the way she conveyed that, like,
yeah. So the magic in this scene for me is like,
right,
she's crying, but you already feel what could have happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I got the feel from her like that she was hyped up on adrenaline, like just she portrayed like shock. I feel like she portrayed shock really well. Like, I don't know, she won me over big time. Even more so. I mean, I thought she was doing a great job, but goddamn, she stepped it up this episode. This was like a Bo-Katan moment for her. I feel like
Bo-Katan moment.
That'll make more sense when we get into the Mines of Mandalore.
In the Mines of Mandalore.
Mines of Mandalore. So I just love this. I love that, and the emotion between them. I know they're probably going to try and break our hearts next week. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm coming into the finale not knowing what's happening.
Yeah, so the fun thing is, I probably know like the main story of next episode, but they could just change something.
They could.
You never know.
It's adaptation. They could. They very well could.
Well, they won't change something, but they could change something.
No, I'm enjoying not knowing. Don't you dare! If someone writes, you'll find out. I'm going to boot you from the chat.
Oh yeah, it was you'll find out. I got it wrong. Damn it!
You'll know.
Damn it, Carl.
Looks like they got a flashback with Ashley. Also, I haven't seen the clip yet. I didn't watch it. I kind of looked over it. He's not here, so it's free reign. Yeah, where is Renz?
Renz is not here.
He's doing Hawkboy things. He's doing Hawkboy things.
Maybe.
Rikage says that was really well done. Both of them are amazing actors. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
What a way to kick off the week of Pedrogasm. Another week of Pedrogasm. So Joel had great moments. Ellie got to be the star. Again, another great episode. 5 out of 5 fun guy for me on this one. This was a 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it.
I think this was for me a 4.5 out of 5 meat cleavers.
4 out of 5 meat cleavers. So if you guys want to
4.5
throw
out
in
of
the
5.
chat, what do you think? What's your rating? Put it in the chat. Let us know. For me, it was just stellar. I loved it. But again, not swayed by the game, so I feel like I have a different experience in that sense, for sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Andre,
You'll find out.
I can't beat you because you gave me a super chat. You bastard! You know how to get to me. You know how to get to me. I'm a cheap. I'll take the money. I'll take it. Andre's the only one that's allowed to say it. I'll take it. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Okay, so what do we got? We got AJ coming in with 5 out of 5. My dude,
Nice.
my man.
Something again with the mic.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, mic can't hold me. This mic, if I was going to bust,
Can't hold
you
me.
wouldn't even hear it. It wouldn't be able to handle it. So that's why I don't rap on the show, guys, because this mic can't handle it.
Maybe you dropped the mic a couple of times too many.
I might have dropped the mic too many times. 3 out of 5 missing action sequences.
3.5 out of 5. That's like a 7 out of 10.
How dare you? But I understand. I completely understand. I joke, but I understand. And that's what I really find interesting about everyone's perception of shows and films, because not having the knowledge of what could happen, for me, it was like a perfectly told story, and just like this whole world they built in and fleshed out in one episode. But to you guys who's played it, very interesting.
Yeah,
Butch
because
has got
if you
5 out
haven't
of
played
5.
it, I think there's like a way to have like a 3.5 out of 5, right?
Yeah. If I hadn't, for sure. Like for me, it was just off the chain.
Yeah.
Well done. 5 out of 5 for Butch. Like that Loki picture there too, Butch. Just got my back. Salty Studios. That'd be a good name, actually. 5 mushrooms for Mike. Yeah, Mike. Nice. Often 4 out of 5 so far for me is 5 out of 5. 4 to 5. Nice.
Just 4 and 5.
All right. Well, that concludes The Last of Us episode 8. We got one more episode to go. Where's it
So
going to
next
go?
week is the
I have
last
no
Petrocasm
idea.
episode for Rundown then.
Yeah, last Pedrogasm. We get 2. I've actually had 3 shows of Pedro this weekend. For those in the channel members, I posted a link to Hot Ones episode with Pedro. I've not had a chance to see it yet, but he's so funny on it. He's so charismatic. Hilarious watching him eating chicken wings, getting interviewed by one of the best interviewers I think out there, Sean from Hot Ones, because he's an absolute legend. Great episode though. If you've seen it, let us know in the chat. If you haven't, check it out. Hot Ones with Pedro. They eat 10 spicy wings and it gets hotter as it goes along. It's freaking hilarious. So I had 3 Pedrogasms this weekend. Lukagi says I'll give it 5 out of 5. What is that animal?
Deers. I think it's a deer.
5 out of 5 deers. I would have liked extra from the game to be added, but I still like what they gave us. Nice. Thank you, Lukagi. Often Studios. Maybe I'm harsh or revise it a 4 out of 5. Rabbit escaping an arrow. No, but I understand that because I get where you're coming from, because you have that investment of what the story is. Because for me with things like that, I get like that too. So it's very interesting to see different perspectives. We'll go back to this episode is sponsored by Lukagi.
John, having seen this episode, do you understand how cruel Often was by just name dropping David like 2 episodes ago, and me having to not say anything?
Yeah, I feel for you. I was pleasantly unaware of what was to come.
And then saying, "Who's David? Who's David?
Who's that guy?" Me just thinking, I'm probably thinking it's another character. I just forgot their name.
Oh, that was so cruel. That was
Bloody
so
hell.
cruel.
Bloody hell. Oh yeah, the Hot Ones episode was really good. Yeah,
5 out of
that's
5
cool.
chicken wings.
It's so cool. 5 out of 5. He'll take this.
Who's David?
I find that show, David. What? Who's David? Who? We're having a quick little intermission here whilst I get the other slides ready, and I'm going to play the video.
I think we need
that,
another
sponsor-
word from our sponsor.
I think we do, right? We need another word from our sponsors.
Yeah,
So
we do.
bear with us, guys. We'll be right back. I might not be right back when this comes back because I'm just going to get a beverage, but I will be right back. Enjoy the words from our sponsor.
Hey you, yes you. Are you having relationship problems? Does everything taste bland? Well, have I got the solution for you? Yes, the answer is yes I do. Drop the beat. Pedragasm.
Pedragasm is a life-changing new product that can change your life. If you want your life-changing life changed, then call 0800 Mandalore for life.
Check out the rundown, presented by Iron Logan and Figure Posing Channel, and get the full Pedragasm experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So thanks, Lugagi. Now that John's gone, maybe I can mention the Bad Batch, because I don't know who of you have followed the Bad Batch, but the Bad Batch is pretty cool this season. Because they started out with focusing on the separate Bad Batch members. And now I think they're kind of trying to tie all of the Star Wars line a bit more together. And this episode, you saw the phase of the clones being phased out, and like the stormtroopers being phased in. I think this is because the inhibitor chip is kind of wearing down. Stormtroopers are really capable, but also pretty honorable. And with the inhibitor chip being worn down, they're kind of unreliant. So the Emperor needs just people who will obey through fear. And it's cool to see this part of the Star Wars canon. So if you haven't seen it, dude, check out this season.
I have not seen it. I have not. I've resisted. But I don't know. I've always struggled with animation, the Star Wars animation. I don't know if it's vibed with me as much. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot me. But I will look at it and give it a go because they look good. But I don't need to be getting addicted and getting them figures. Oh my god! Iron Logan,
You're spoiling this dude.
Audios today, no returns. Brother, thank you for the donation. You're freaking I don't know. Bloody hell. Here we go. The last season was bad. Look, I just need to give it a go. Give it a go. Am I freezing? Please tell me I'm not freezing.
No, not really freezing.
Okay. Now I'm gonna add the slides, guys. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Needed a quick
That's scary.
break. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, now it's kind of freezing.
We are
dude.
freezing. Yeah. Let's go back.
Pickle.
There we go. Man, if StreamYard
Mando.
keeps doing this, I'm gonna have to have words with them. Literally. Do you want to give your first initial thoughts of this epised?
Wait, first of all,
the
if you
Mines of
need to have a word
Mandalore.
with StreamYard, I think first you're going to Butch's boss, and then you're going to talk to the director of StreamYard, CEO of StreamYard. That's how you do.
CEO
Words
of
on Mando.
StreamYard.
Yeah, it was a cool episode. I think it's really, I think we're getting spoiled with our Petrogasm weeks and the Bad Batch. Because it was just full on Mando. He was kind of a pansy though, so that's because how many times can you need saving in one episode? I liked
hey.
that Bo-Katan was like very capable and in her element because it's her home world and you could see like her former status or stature.
Mm-hmm.
But Mando was kind of a pansy.
He kicked ass with the Darksaber, even though he couldn't wield it. He still kicked ass against those whatever
Nah,
those
he,
guys
he
were.
couldn't wield it. He was fumbling around, and it was heavy like hell. And the contrast between him and her wielding the dark saber was like light and day. And I really liked that part. But the fact that he
Yeah.
needed saving twice was a bit down.
How dare you? Should we kick Anthony?
He should have
from
won
the show,
versus the
guys?
Elamites, right?
Who's with me? Who's with
He should
me?
have won versus the Elamites.
Man, I
Man.
see. I didn't notice that at all. Man, I didn't notice that at all. I did not notice that at all. One, I'm a Mando shill. I am a Mando shill, and for me, he needed to have some adversity. To he's gone through this whole journey. He needed a little bit of adversity. He can't be a baller all the
A
time.
little at
He
first.
needed to see
He
Grogu.
needed saving twice.
Yeah, he needed saving in freaking Last of Us as well. He needs saving everywhere. Pedro was taking a back seat these last two episodes. He's just chilling. He's just chilling. But I love when he comes back to visit her. I love these moments. I love her in the show, and she's just class. The start of this episode was cool. Coming back to visit.
Yeah, so he's back on Tatooine, and they talk about Bunta Eve, just like they did with Anakin and his pod racing, and Palomado, she's such a scam artist. So that kind of worries me when she says that they can't find the memory module, because I'm thinking if she scams the Rodian, won't she scam Mando as well? So I don't know about that, but I'm hoping we can trust her. What do you think?
I think we can trust her. I didn't get the impression that we couldn't trust her.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think for Mando, I feel like for Mando, she'll do it.
Yeah, and I
knows
feel
he's
she
a
also
hero.
has like a soft spot for Grogu. So
Yeah. When he does the Jedi flip, that's so gangster. I'm like, oh, I'm a Grogu shield
force
too,
jump.
so
It's force jump.
force jump.
And I also like the fact that she's still in cahoots with the Jawas, because Jawas get like everything. They're like the master scavengers of
Yeah,
Tatooine over there.
they're awesome.
So if anyone can find like a memory module, it'd be them.
Yeah. And when he's back here with her, for me, because I've rewatched the first two seasons like 3 or 4 times over, whenever he's back in these moments with her, for me, it always feels like such a comfort place, like a fun.
It feels like home,
part of
right?
Star Wars. It feels
Yeah.
like, that's the
Yeah.
word. It feels like
Yeah.
home when he's there. Like I really just love when he visits her. It's so cool. I wanted to bring up a point here. Where is it? Often says, but this episode was miles better than the first. Yes, I agree. I wanted to talk about episode 1 after listening to John Campion. I don't know if anyone else in the chat has listened to the John Campion show and his thoughts on the first episode. And he said something really that sparked something in me when I started thinking about it. Like Mando's show, I think we all know generally is Mando needs to get a thing, but to get a thing, he's got to go to this person, and then he goes to that person, and they're like, I need you to do this to get that, and I'll give you that. So he's like going on all these quests, multiple quests all the time.
Yeah.
And what John Campion said about the first episode is, he goes, they set up, they did a really good job of setting everything up. They've set up his mission. They've given you the information of the conversation he had in Book of Boba, that if you haven't watched Book of Boba, you still get an understanding, some degree of understanding. And then they've set up his main quest and then his side quest. And they've set up all these steps, these tropes, like, main quest, side quest, main quest, or whatever. I found that really interesting. And that made me enjoy and look at the first episode more of a, wow, they did a good job of setting all this stuff up to then get into the meat of the show and what it's going to be, which was this episode. I thought, like, to me, him getting in the waters already was really quick. I thought it was going to take longer to get into the mines, get all that done, but they're accelerating quite fast. Did you have that thought as well, Anthony? Like, he got there really quick. He's already cleansed himself in 2 episodes.
Wait. First of all, when we're talking about first episode, second episode, I don't think it's brilliant the way they set it up. I really don't think it's that brilliant, but
No.
I didn't mind the first episode either. I just enjoyed it. The thing that's a bit weird to me is that he was so adamant about needing the IG-11 to explore the surface of Mandalore because it was poisonous, and now all of a sudden, like, this R5 droid is good enough as well, which is like
Yeah.
the crappiest robot ever. That's like the unit that was broken down in A New Hope. Uh, it- so that's a bit weird to me. And
That
then
was a bit weird. That
it's
was
kind of weird that the R5 droid goes missing all of a sudden, and he's not even on his guard, and he gets beaten. which, this
Hey,
is
he
my
doesn't
pet peeve.
get
Man, we're
beaten.
getting beaten twice.
He didn't get beaten. He still beat them.
And and the waters, I did not expect anything about the waters, so I didn't think it was going to take longer. I didn't think it was going to take
Okay.
shorter, but I liked what they discovered there. So that is like a cool plot twist. I really didn't expect that.
Yeah. Really, really cool. So we go from there. Let's get to the next slide. This is when I love this shot. Like the way the Darksaber lights up that creature. Damn. So cool.
Yeah. So for me, this looked like a bit weird because if you're not proficient using the lightsaber, just don't do it. He has enough weaponry as it is. He has like his gun, he has like his fiber blade, he has a flamethrower. He could, he's like this grappling hook. He could have done without the lightsaber maybe.
Without using
but,
it. Yeah.
it
Maybe he
looked
knows how
clunky,
good
which
it
is-
works.
Yeah, maybe. To be honest, I would have used it as well, even though I wouldn't been good at it.
I'd be like, I'm gonna figure this out. I'd be like, I'm gonna freaking learn
yeah,
how to
true,
use this.
true. On hindsight, I would have done it too. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's not fluent with it because like the special weapon still.
Yeah, and I like the journey that he's going to have to get to the point of the show where he does wield it, because I feel like I think they said that on I think it was the John Campy show. You can see him riding the mythosaur with the Darksaber wielding it. Just wait for Hot Toys to bring that out. A fucking 1/6 scale mythosaur with Mando Darksaber riding on top like he did the Blurg. I can see that coming. I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know, because I can also see them giving the dark saber to Bo-Katan and that being the plot point. Because this whole episode, Bo-Katan was really not trustworthy to me. I was shifting between, can we trust her, or does she still want the dark saber? And I think it's kind of both.
I think
it
it's
feels
both.
like it to me.
Yeah.
And they use this episode to show her that she's really like one of the most badass things around Mandalore, but also that she's made to wield the Darksaber, or that she's done it a long time and knows what's what.
Yeah, I think I heard the discussion of someone's, I think it was Campier's thoughts on why she could wield it so well. It's because she's so confident in who she is and what she thinks she deserves. Whereas Mando, I don't think, is confident in being that person. Like he's not thinking about being the person who's going to bring back Mandalore and revolutionize everything. He's not thinking about that. Whereas she's like, I deserve to be this. I'm born to be this. I think I like that angle of she can wield it because she is more connected to herself, and Mando isn't connected to himself yet, and that shows off in how clunky he is with the sword, because he's not he doesn't have that purpose yet, other than to become a Mandalorian again. Yeah, he's so focused on that one freaking task.
So
Would you
tell me-
agree with that?
Exactly how many hours of John Campia do you listen to each week?
Well, I listen to a couple shows because I listen to stuff while I'm working.
Yeah.
Anthony, while I'm working. But I love that point. Like I feel like that's really good, right? I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree.
That.
Um,
You don't think so?
I think it's kind of reaching because we don't know, right? We only
don't
know
know,
that she's
but it
had the
makes
dark
sense.
saber before, so she is experienced with the dark saber, and we know that she's very knowledgeable about all things Mandalorian. So
Yep.
she could have just been taught to use it,
But don't you remember the armorer saying that, like telling him why he's clunky, right? Doesn't she tell him in Boba when
Hmm.
he's using the sword? She's like, "You can't wield it yet because." And if anyone can remember in the chat, throw it in there, and we will catch up on the chat because we're a bit behind. But I'm pretty sure the armorer
Yeah,
tells him why he's not ready to wield it
yeah, but I
properly.
think it had to do with sort of like
Fighting is tough.
synchronizing with the blade, because it's look, most blades are made by kyber crystals, and I
Mm,
think the dark saber is no different. I think it's just a special
mm,
sort of kyber crystal, and
mm,
it has been changed a couple of times if you need to be force sensitive to use it or not. Um, but I think now they're going to that you don't have to be force sensitive to wield a saber, but you still need to kind of synchronize with the kyber crystal and not just
See,
wield
I
it like
think
a regular blade. And he's wielding it like a regular blade.
yeah. Whereas I'm coming at it from the angle that I feel like the sword is mythical and that it's connected to you in a spiritual way. That's the thought I've had about it for
Hmm.
some reason. Like it's this magical thing, like when what's his face, Moff Gideon says it has to be one in combat. You can't just give it to her. That made me think
Yeah,
it's very mythical. Like it's the mythical thing. I guess that's why I've been thinking about it like
he
that.
wielded it better, right? Or was he also clunky?
Well, see, no, he wielded it better because, and now I'm thinking he wielded it better because he knows, like, he is his true self. Maybe
But he also knows
that's
more about about the blade.
he knew about the mythical side of it and how to wield it. So maybe I don't know. That's my thoughts. Let's catch up on the chat to see what these guys think because I'm pretty sure they're talking about it. He seemed a little underpowered. Sorry, I have no issues with him losing, but he was rocking bounty hunters at the
Yeah,
end of Boba
yeah.
Fett.
It's like they
Mando
switched
went from
roles, right?
surviving on his own to needing help every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes.
Look,
Yeah.
guys, it was a chance for Grogu to shine. It was a chance for Bo-Katan to shine. Mando will be back. Come on. Come on. Need I remind you of that episode from Book of Boba? Trust me, Mando's coming back.
Yeah.
Like says, full-on Beskar armor, but he's less badass in True Steel.
True.
True. Yeah, but CP3O asked RD to do something so
R5.
him and R2 could stay R5. Stay together
Yeah.
as they have an important mission.
Yeah.
It's rainfall with the wind. Yeah. Hey,
It's a rancor with a wig.
whistling
It's
birds
a
could
mini
have saved
rancor
me in
with a
both
wig.
scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could imagine that whistling birds are very special. You need to use them
Yeah.
in a special situation. Even though getting
And
your
plus,
ass
this
kicked
is
is
a quick
almost
draw weapon.
getting captured. Yeah.
I think someone will win the Darksaber and Bo-Katan will beat that person to earn it. Interesting.
I still think her and Mando are going to go at it.
I feel like Bo-Katan
get
and
the
Mendo are going to
Darksaber.
fight. Yeah, I 100%
Yeah.
think. I think they're definitely going to fight. He may have to
Well,
just be.
I don't know
getting
yet
sloppy.
because sometimes I feel that she wants to be with him and she really envies him. No, not envy. She gets kind of nostalgic about the way how he's still into the old ways, and she sees the old glory of Mandalore in Din Djarin. And on the other hand, she wants to rule it. So I think it's a cool motive.
Yeah, I think they're going to work together. My thought is they're going to work together a lot. It depends on the
This is
pace of how
interesting,
quickly
though.
they're going to tell the story. I
This is
think,
interesting.
yeah,
But I
I
don't
think
think so.
though that she's going to fight. I think she's going to be his main fight at the end, and he's going to lose in some way, which is going to set up the next season. And she's
Yeah, because they
maybe
really
I don't know.
they really set her up to be so much more competent than Mando.
Yeah, she
And
I think is
knowledgeable.
going to. Yeah, she's going to end up with the Darksaber, I think, at some point, or she's going to
Again.
be his main antagonist by the end of the series. I think they're going to
Could
work
be.
together a lot, maybe like this. They're going to go on an adventure, and it's going to get to a point where she's like, give me the saber."
Yeah, but also she has this line where she is really sad about the factions fighting each other. So she also kind of wants to reunite them. Maybe that's going to be her motive, reuniting all of the clans
Mm-hmm.
under the Darksaber. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Din Djarin shows up with the Mythosaur.
Mm.
That's like a one-up, right? I have the Darksaber,
Yeah.
yeah, but I I am Mandalore.
I am Mandalore. Now, Mike's saying he thinks they will destroy the saber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't
Yeah,
think they will, but that
I
could
don't
be
think they will.
interesting.
AMC movie talk show with. I so often says I used to watch Campio when it was an AMC movie talk with late great John Shep. Okay, I never watched it then. Um, as look at all the wars that have been fought for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
true that.
could be. It would have been a smart move, though. Like,
Anthony,
it's like the Sith destroying the rule of two.
Camp. Oh, your voice is going funny.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freezing on me now. Hang on. Oh, Andre, what's he saying now? Super chat
Oh,
from Andre.
man.
Thanks again, brother. AJ Lukagi. Often Mike Butch, Anthony, 5 out of 5. John, what? What? Burn. That's a burn, bro.
No, maybe not, because we need us 6 together to get like a 5 out of 5, and you on your own are already like a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5. Ah, thank you, Andre. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Star of the show.
Oh man. Now he's like burn comment guy now. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, you will see Kahan train Sabine
Kanan.
to use the Darksaber.
I didn't
okay.
even know that.
So maybe
I don't
I'm just thinking
think
about it being more mythical.
I've completed. I don't think I've completed Rebels.
Here you go. The wielder of the blade must be working for a singular purpose.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, thanks. That was it.
There you go.
Savage comment guy.
You savage comment guy now. Bloody hell. But to counter that, Han didn't have that issue with Luke's saber in episode 8.
Yeah.
Don't recall him thinking it was heavy. And that had a couple
Yeah,
of
so
too. Interesting.
I think the heavy part is only with the Dark Blade. So I think it's a special kind of a carbon crystal, and we don't know what special kind yet. What's the story behind it? But I really want to know.
Hell yeah. When I pose up my Chrome Mando, I'm going to be using that Darksaber a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty epic if he could
He would.
tame a
He
Mythosaur.
will.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to ride one. Man, look, Hot Toys are already salivating. A 1/6 Mythosaur, Mando on top with the Dark Blade in whatever new Chrome edition extra piece they've added to create another one. And I will buy it. In fact,
Imagine
I'll probably buy it.
they could actually Crocodile Dundee that shit. Like Mando, Boba Fett coming in with his Rancor, and then
Yes.
Mando comes in. You call that a ride?
Yes.
This is a ride.
This is a ride. Oh, bro, that would be so epic. Come on, we've called it here. It's going to happen. After watching Amanda, I'm not going to a beach again. I don't understand why Kino didn't learn to swim. Bloody hell. Oh, man. That still hurts. That still hurts. No, it's to do with the person using it. Watch Rebels.
Yeah, I'm going to complete Rebels. I liked Rebels.
Thank you, Mike.
I liked it, but I didn't complete it somehow. I will.
Ooh. Yeah, man, I got to check that out now. Yeah. I will do some research. But let's move on. We're all caught up. When they're exploring the caves, I love that. I love that, just the exploring part, like dropping down and using his jetpack. I loved all those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets captured. So we go from there to... I love this shot. When he does get captured, I thought that was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that part of it, seeing Grogu now have to step up and do something. And I just thought it was a really cool way of giving Grogu, showing us he can do more, and giving him a chance to shine a little bit, like, and not just be the sidekick just in the pram. I really like that. Like, I love how he looks to RD and he's like, just points, like he's learned. They're showing us that he's learnt from Mando teaching him all this time on how to her to do stuff more, and then he finally gets a chance to do it. I really enjoyed that part of it. What
Yeah,
about
so
you?
this just got me paranoid because you know how in Moon Knight every sentence has like a reason for being there. There are a couple of
Mm-hmm.
these things, these um, which are also there for a reason. So when they go to Mandalore, Mando says, "Yeah, there's like this um, barrier, so communications can't go out of this planet." So that's
Mm-hmm.
like the first red flag. And then
Mm-hmm.
Grogu has to go with the ship back to Bo-Katan, and then Bo-Katan brings them to Mandalore again. That takes like a couple of minutes in the series
Mm-hmm.
for that long of a ride, but
Mm-hmm.
it has a reason. So that got me thinking. Now Mando and Grogu are there without a ship, and Bo-Katan is the only one with a ship. So I was thinking she's going to
Mm.
grab the dark saber and just fly
Leave
off,
him.
and Mando and Grogu will just be stuck there. So
Ooh.
this really got me paranoid. But then I got back to trusting her again when I saw her looking at
Mm.
Mando. Um, so
Yeah.
then I wasn't that paranoid anymore. But this part really got me worried.
Yeah. I didn't think about it like that, but that makes so much sense. That's actually really a really cool way to look at it. Because when he gets back to her, so that's the next one I got right. When he gets back to her, when she's inside, she's like, "Let's get rid of him once and for all." What do you
Yeah.
think she meant by that? Do you think she was coming out busting caps, thinking about
No,
busting
no,
caps,
no. Just not being
or just telling him to
bothered
piss
anymore.
off?
Just leave me alone. She just wants
Yeah,
to be isolated.
yeah. Um, so that was really cool. And then Grogu shows up. We just because we didn't get a picture of it for sake of time, or space. The creature that captured him, that I thought they did a really good job with that creature too. He was really well done. I thought
Yeah, he
the
was.
special
He
effects,
was.
right? I thought he was really the creature was really well done, and it
It's
just
so
added
unique.
more of that. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, it's. I thought the idea was so unique of having like this pod inside another exosuit, and the thing that's inside the exosuit is already an exosuit for this weird little creature.
Mm,
And when he came out of his first suit, he looked like a metal cockroach, which is so awesome
yeah.
because he's made for surviving, and cockroaches are made for surviving. And then he goes into
Hmm.
this big ass exosuit, and he still gets beaten by Bo-Katan. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was so well done. I loved that part of it. I actually really love that. Often says, if that happens, Mando will find another armorer and he'll get a Starburst Mando
Starburst.
armor.
Yeah,
I'd get it.
he goes to Tony Stark.
Yeah, I'd get it. So then, yep, Grogu comes back
I
and gets her.
understood that
I love
reference.
her ship. Yeah. Classic. Good morning. We have a visitor. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the rundown. You can have that. Yep. Everyone says hello. Okay. But this scene of them coming into the world, I love it when Mando and they come in their ship. But I also loved this sequence too. I love shots like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I just really enjoyed that. I love her ship too. Her ship is baller.
It's a
It
cool ship,
just
right?
looks so cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool ship.
She just looks so competent overall.
Okay, that's too much. Okay, so sorry about that. Now they get there. This was cool too, because she's still whinging, kind of
Yeah.
about whinging to Grogu. But when they go through the caves as well, I thought that was really cool seeing her,
Yeah. Yeah.
because she ends up fighting. Then we get to here, and the way she
And we got
uses
the
the shield.
shield. Yeah.
Got the shield.
Damn.
And a 2.0, another one with a shield and a dark
2.0
saber.
is getting tempting right now, right? The heavy Mando.
Yeah, right.
With the shield.
With the shield. I've got Bo-Katan coming in too, guys, so I cannot wait to get her ordered before this episode. So this got me even more hyped to be getting her in. And Anthony, you got to get her out. And come on, bro.
Yeah, I was
Come on.
thinking getting her out with Cosco Reeves and X-Woes. And then getting her
Oh,
out.
okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna try my best to get not to get slapped.
That's slapped.
Beware the ISB agents here, darling.
The ISP agent.
Wait. Yeah. Hot Toys are gonna pass Vizsla. Yeah, they're gonna do it. They're definitely gonna do it.
Pass Vizsla, this boat crew. Yeah.
But she kicked ass. Absolutely
Yeah,
kicked ass.
yeah.
And I thought it was just a great. They've done that for a reason. They're showing us, obviously, like we've talked about. They're showing us how proficient she is and how she could actually
Yeah.
be probably a real challenge for Mando if she wanted to fight him for it. Because if she gets her hands on it,
Yeah.
she's going to kick ass with it. So I really liked that. We're flying through these slides, and when you've got action slides, there's not as much to talk about. But we got 2 pictures left. So after she saves him, shout out to Grogu for getting it done and getting back. And he really had a lot to. When he kicked that guy out of the cave too, I loved that. That was so cool. A little hero moment for him. Mike says, "Bo is the new queen of Mandalore."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I
She
really
was in
like
this episode.
that you really don't know what she's about to do, because I really get the feeling that she wants to take the Darksaber from Mando, and I get the feeling that she's really kind of loving Mando for being so overly Mandalorian, pro-Mandalorian.
Yeah, he is. Ride or die.
Yeah.
He's ride or die.
And it's cool hearing her talk about the old days, right?
Yeah,
about her being
I
a
just love this
princess.
whole sequence. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I hope they do more on. That's like I was thinking, him on the journey to get in the waters was going to be way more episodes than this. But then see that was my expectation coming in. But then to have this all happen in this episode, I'm like, oh wow! Now where's it going to go? Like, it was a great switch up from what I thought. We got a super chat from Andre. Whoa! Thank you, sir. He goes, much love, John. You're a legend. Screenshot aside. Ah! He gets me right at the end.
Burn. You know what I thought, by the way? When
Thanks, brother.
Mando was going to eat the soup, I thought this was like a freebie. He could like take his helmet off, show it to Bo-Katan, and then go right into the water. No problem. Because it's like getting a parking ticket, right? If you get a parking ticket, you might as well just stay there for the whole day because it's free from then on.
I just had a thought. Okay, just hear me out. I hope it's not too much. I just literally had a thought then. If they can't take off their helmet in front of someone else, just think about how future Mandalorians are made. I'm just putting it out.
So Mandalorians aren't. They don't need to be made. Like they have foundlings, right? You don't need to. That's why they also.
So you're saying it's a life of solitude?
No,
They live
that's
a
not
life
what I'm
of
saying.
solitude?
I'm just saying that it doesn't matter where you come from. Like Mando, he's talking about that he grew up from Concordia, which is like this planet.
I was being
right
much
before
more gross than
Mandalore.
that, Anthony.
And
was
it's
being
just
more gross.
you just need to take like the tenets and the vows if you're from a certain age, and then you need to be raised like a Mandalorian. That's it.
Yeah. No, I was being more gross, with Mandalorian.
But also you can take it
Hook
off,
up.
and it kind of seems that if you're married, that you can take it off inside the house, right?
Okay.
It's like
Okay. We'll see. Sure. sure. You know, they got those
Sure.
helmets on.
you're just pissed that you're not a Mandalorian.
Yeah. I'll put my helmet on. I'll freaking do it. I'll do all of next episode with my helmet on. Come
Often
at
at
me,
the same
bro.
track of mind with the freebie peak for Bo-Katan. Maybe you need to include often with the villain arc video. Basically, a Mandalorian
Maybe
just
just
kidnaps
basically
people.
Mandalorian. Bloody hell.
Hello there.
Renz is in the house. Hello, Renz. What's going on? You know what we do.
He comes in, releases a pun, and he goes back to sleep.
That's basically Renz's intro now. It's not mine anymore.
The only thing that stays on is the helmet.
Yeah, AJ, that's what I'm talking about.
Cling, cling.
You can take the helmet off if no one sees it. Just say. That's what I was thinking. Look, I'm sorry I went there, but come on, this stream's not made for kids.
Oh, he comes in for the first one.
Shit.
5 seconds in.
5 seconds in. You know what? That's impactful. I love that sound at the
Is
end.
that Anthony Mackie? Who is that? Is it
I
Will
don't
Smith?
know, actually. Let us know, Lukaki. I think it becomes a Russian doll situation when you remove the
babushka
helmet.
doll.
There's just
Yeah.
a small helmet underneath. That'd be like a one of those movies where they make fun of it and they do it that way.
Yeah.
Then we
Spaceballs
get to the
too.
last slide. That's the one. The Mythosaur. So, what do you think of this? Everybody in the chat, let's say, what did you think of this? Did we think Mando's going to be writing it? What do you think this means? What's going to happen? Does this let Bo-Katan know that there's obviously the planet is going to come back and they're going to fight to bring it alive? But what do you think?
Yeah.
This guy on there, like, how big is it really? Because he looks pretty freaking big.
Yeah, so it's freaking big.
It is freaking big.
I think the comparison with the knives from Crocodile Dundee is pretty accurate. But look, I like how Bo-Katan kind of dismisses the Krees for the Mandalore, from the Mandalorians, from the what was Children of Mandalore. But this kind of makes them a bit more right when the waters are special because of the mythosaur, and the myth about the mythosaur is right, because
Yeah.
these all seemed like fairy tales and myths to Bo-Katan up until now. So I'm really curious to see how she reacts to it. I'm really curious if she tries to write it. I think Mano is going to write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, because so far it kind of seemed like they were extinct, the mythosaurs.
I think you're right in the sense, I think she may question. Do you think maybe would she go in the water and do the whole helmet? I don't think she'll do that because I don't know if her character's there yet, but I think she might start to be open to believing. Maybe you're right. I
Yeah,
think open
yeah.
to believing that some of the myths are true and maybe she's wrong. That'd be a cool character arc for her, right? Okay,
Oh,
not
Red
now.
Rancor!
That Sting meme. Yeah. Andre's having a laugh. It was a wet rancor, so like.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit bigger than a Rancor.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's Mando. Come on. The oh hell no was a random meme sound I had on my phone. I can't remember
So
where I actually
funny.
found it. Wow.
Oh, hell no!
Well, it worked perfectly.
Yeah, I think this is
it's
the
just-
first time.
Yeah.
We've only heard from Mandalore the Great or Mandalore Ultimate of riding mythosaur, but it seemed like a legend to Bo-Katan.
Yeah. The mythosaur is probably the proof Din brings
Yeah,
the
I don't
armor.
think he's going to bring the mythosaur. Maybe just mythosaur poo, but yeah, I don't think he's going to bring it yet. I think the mythosaur is going to be like the finale.
Yeah. That's. Yeah, I think so. It'll come back to play somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, where's the show go from here? Are they going to be on the world still? Is he going to go off on another side quest thing again?
Imagine Grogu riding the mythosaur and becoming like the second Jedi Mandalorian.
Ultra powered Grogu. Now,
Did
Rams,
he-
these
did-
types
did-
of questions
did they-
aren't welcome.
Did they show Grogu having beast control? I think they did, right? In the first season.
Yeah, they did. He stopped the Mudhorn thing. What
Yeah,
was it?
that might not be beast control because he also
He stopped the Rancor though.
I don't know
he
what,
stopped
but
the
I
Rancor,
think
didn't he?
they've shown Grogu having beast control, so maybe
Hmm.
Grogu's going to be the one, and that would also
Maybe.
like unite the Jedi and the Mandalorians again.
That would be sick.
Would be cool,
Imagine
right?
if it was. Imagine if, yeah, because then Mando really is Joel. Bringing Grogu. Grogu's the chosen one. Pedro Gasm. That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
I did love the sequence of them of Bo shooting down with her jetpack through the water. I thought that was epic. I thought they filmed that really well. It looked really cool. This episode to me was just the type of Mando episode that I love. Lots of action, crazy creatures, just going into the myth of the world and the story. I really love this story, this overall story. It's just
Yeah, so-
so fun.
I I kind of loved it, but like I said, I think where a lot of series go wrong is with not being consistent with power levels, and I think it would have been like an easy thing to do. I get that they needed to change like Boba Fett into something else because everything they wanted to do with Boba Fett over these years they've done with Mando, so now you need something else in the green armor. So I get that, but they could have made it like unique and like being Mando being like a gunslinger and Bo-Katan being far more proficient with the jetpack and the Darksaber and with her knowledge about Mandalore. That would have worked fine if they only would have given us an excuse that Mando wasn't able to use his gun or something. But this was a bit too easy for me. Kind of lazy writing.
Yeah, I get that. And it all just goes in one ear and out the other because Mando for life.
Why do I even bother, man? Okay, see you next week. Bye.
Bloody positive degree. Oh man. As long as he doesn't bring the head back, I think it's a win-win.
Head
The big
back?
ass head.
Which head? Oh, that head.
The head of the mythosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mythosaur head.
Grogu calmed the Rancor. I thought he did. I think
Yeah, he did something.
He did. Working Beauty. Has, thanks for being here, brother.
Working Beauty.
Another channel member, legend. I thought the episode was okay, but preferred Bad Batch this week. Wow.
Yeah,
I
Bad
haven't seen
Batch
it, so I can
really got me
compare.
excited. Yeah.
Damn. OT for the HT. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all the slides. I had a great Pedrogasm week. If you're feeling like you need a bit more Pedro in your life, go check out the Hot Ones with him on it. It was an awesome episode too.
I could watch
but
him all
final
day.
thoughts. You could all day.
Yeah.
I can literally watch him doing it. He's dresses so flamboyantly too, doesn't he? When he's in interviews, he dresses very flamboyant.
I like how he's like this emotional pansy, but he has this badass characters on screen.
Yeah.
And I like how people's characters don't really come across the screen, or if their characters are different from their own personalities. I really love that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we didn't do a rating. I haven't set up a Mando rating. Sorry, guys. 'Cause I just assume it's 5 out of 5 for everybody. But then often wants to go in there and get on thin ice. 3 out of 5 mini Rancor.
Yeah,
dare you.
3 would be a bit low
What?
for me. For me, it would be like 3.5 out of 5 mythosaurs.
3 out of
Cheap as mines.
100. Shit. This is like a $200 mic. Come on, bro.
I think that's why he's been throwing
is
those
old.
2 pounds at you every time now, just to get you another
He's
mic.
hinting. Okay. I'll look at another mic. Speaking of Mike, season 3, episode 15. Kanan trains Sabine,
Kanan.
and you'll understand about the heavy Darksaber. Mike, dropping knowledge.
Oh, I think I've
Thank you,
been
Mike.
at season 3. I think I'm close.
Andres is
Savage
killing us.
comment guy.
Andres, he is literally savage comment guy right now. Jesus. But that was fun. It was a fun week. I loved both episodes. I can't wait for the finale. I can't believe it's going to be the finale tomorrow. And then Mando episode 3. Hyped up week for me. 4 out of 5 mythosaurs for AJ. Nice.
Yeah, maybe 4.5 out of 5 for AJ. I think for me 4 out of
4 out of
5 would have
5
been
floaties.
decent. Yeah, 4 out of 5 would be good. Floaties. Floaties for
Kino
Kino
and
and
Mando.
Mando. Yeah.
He dropped down in the water pretty darn quick.
Dude, that was how I was
super
thinking.
quick.
The only thing that made sense is that
That's
if
super
Mythosaur just pulled him down, he all of a sudden dragged him down in the water, and he left Bo-Katan alone.
Something dragged him
So
down.
that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
That was a bit weird, right?
Something dropped real quick though. Something pulled him. I reckon
Yeah.
definitely something pulled him.
Yeah.
Definitely. 4 out of 5. I think Mike's saying 5 out of 5. Mando getting his ass kicked.
I think
4 out
he's
of
saying
5.
5 out of 5. He types 4, but I think he's saying 5.
He's saying 5. And then Renz is saying 5 out of 5 jetpacks. Look at these guys are all on board with me. Everyone gave a 5 out of 5. That's what the record. That's what the record will
Oh
show.
man.
As I delete their comments. But the ISB agent is nearing. So let's wrap this
Be
up.
afraid. Be afraid. Don't talk about movies. There are no movies in the
sorry,
cinema
guys.
at the moment right now.
I'm under duress. I love the episode. I'm in agreement with John. 5 out of 5. Boom. Butch. He's got my back.
Damn.
Yeah, Butch. Thank you. Thank you. 5 out of 5 jetpacks. 5 out of 5. Yeah, cool. 5 out of 5 jetpacks. For
It says 4, but I
Brains.
read 5.
yeah, it reads as 5. It reads as 5.
reads as
So next
5.
week, definitely reads as 5.
Oh, man.
What do you got? You got anything coming up this next week, Anthony? What do you got going on?
Yeah,
Ahsoka,
so
right? Coming in.
yeah, I wanted to get Ahsoka today, but the post house was closed, even though they said they were going to be open. So that kind of sucks. Now I have to wait to get Ahsoka after this weekend. And after that, I'm going to do Ahsoka. Yeah. Such a cool figure.
Hell yeah.
It looks so
Hell
dope.
yeah.
It looks like a Hot Toys meets what's it called? Pop Toys, right? The samurai figures.
Mhm. Yes.
The suit looks like a Pop Toy suit, and it looks cool. So I wasn't excited for this figure when the Clone Wars figure dropped, but now I'm really stoked to get this one.
Yeah. I've watched a few videos on her already, and she looks amazing. I just can't wait to pair. I just want to do like, I just want to pair them up with, pair them all together. I think it's going to look dope.
Yeah.
And I love the base. I'll be using Mando on that base too. I'll be using that. I love that base because I can
I'm going
use
to
it with
use
so
this
many other
base, I
things
think.
too.
Wait.
The bamboo one.
Yeah, this one. That's going to.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You can switch it in and out. Multiple. Yeah. So. Looking forward to seeing that. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with her. I've still got Sam Wilson cap to do after I finish with Shang-Chi, and then I'll probably be getting on to Bo-Katan.
Yeah, the
whole
Shang-Chi kicking
Mandalorian.
pose looked dope, dude. That was a perfect pose.
Appreciate it, mate. You know what? It's the second time I gave it a go. First time I tried for like an hour and a half, and I could just not get it
Yeah.
how I wanted it. And then yesterday I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it one more go. I really want to try and get that high kick. And finally I got it. So when you guys see the video and you see it on the turntable, it doesn't look as good from certain angles, but if you have it on the shelf like that,
Yeah, the picture was awesome.
it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And it's got the stand, no editing. I just have a clear rod that came with the Thanos base, and I'm using the crotch piece to sit for his arm. It rests under his right arm, so he's literally just leaning on it and balancing on that foot. So super happy
Hidden
with that.
stand.
Hidden stand hashtag. And then I forgot to type hashtag hidden stand because I'm an idiot. But nonetheless. But yes, next week, hopefully you guys will see the new Shang-Chi video. I've got 2 more poses to do, then I'll do the audio. So hopefully by the end of next week, not the week after. But we will be back next weekend for the finale
That's
of
Petrogasm, right?
The Last of Us, the last Pedrogasm. And then it'll just be Mando for a few weeks. I am looking forward to doing just one show and having more slides for each show and delving a bit deeper. But I also enjoy Pedrogasm.
Yeah.
So, the hot ones.
Run down with hot ones.
I like that.
That would be hilarious.
Being here, run down with 4 out of 5.
4 out
JK,
of
5 out of 5.
Dude,
as
I would
always.
settle for
Yay,
4 out of
we got
5.
5 out of 5.
That's good, right? It's 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But thanks for the 5 out of 5.
What?
Needs more action sequences.
I'm
Needs more infected.
gonna ride that one. He's gonna ride that one to the grave. All right,
Yeah,
I'm
he will,
freezing,
he will.
guys. All you guys, thanks for being here. Andre, thanks for the super chats, brother. Thanks for the burns.
Oh, yeah,
Have a great
yeah,
week.
that was
Enjoy
awesome.
these episodes.